Between motorists and cyclists continues along Jarvis. As you no doubt know by now, the city has reverse field on bike lanes. Crews busy taking them down and restoring that fifth center lane to improve flow. But not everybody is happy with the decision. There have been several protesters out on Jarvis in the past few days, laying down on the roadway, impeding the crew's work. One of those protesters is Dr. Tomislav Svoboda. Now, it's not so much what happened out on Jarvis, but what took place at the police station that caught our attention. And the good doctor joins us here on Talk Radio, AM 640. Dr. Svoboda, appreciate your time.
Hello, yeah, thank you so much for your invitation for me to be on the show.
Okay, now you're a family physician, correct, at St. Mike's, a GP?
I'm a family doctor and a public health physician, yes.
All right. GP, some might say in this case, stands for general pain. But first, tell us, why'd you feel so strongly about the Jarvis Street bike lanes that you were moved to protest?
Yeah, so as a family physician and public health and preventive medicine sort of physician, I'm very concerned about safety, environmental issues. I'm concerned about the lack of public consultation on this particular bike lane removal, and I'm interested in the proper use of taxpayers' money.
All right, so you were moved so much to go out there, lay down on the roadway out on Jarvis, but you were eventually removed by police and taken into custody?
Correct. Yeah, it seems like a small issue. You know, bike lanes come and go, but in the context of what's happening, worldwide, globally, the fact that we're the only major city in North America that's removing bike lanes, I think it is a global issue.
Okay, and what were you exactly charged with at the police station?
I was charged with mischief, interfere with property, and obstruct peace officer.
All right, and when you were released, this is the notable part of this story. You were given terms of your release, what's commonly known as I think a Form 11?
Correct.
Okay, and what were the terms of of your release?
So there were two terms. First of all, I should say that my lawyer felt that it was okay for me to speak to the media, and so that's what I'm doing. But one of the terms was not to participate in Jarvis Street bike lane protests. And when I asked to clarify that, they stated that, or I wanted to clarify whether or not I could speak to the media, and they told me fairly clearly that if I was heard speaking to the media about this issue, that would constitute participating in protests.
And would be a violation of the terms of your release.
I was told that it would be considered a breach, which would be, in their minds, a serious matter. And the second one was that I wouldn't go to Jarvis Street in the city of Toronto.
Right. Now, from what I understand, that's not all that uncommon. If you've been charged with mischief or something, say, I don't know, demonstrating at City Hall, one of the terms of your release is to stay within a certain amount of meters or certain distance away from the site of the incident.
Correct.
Okay, but the term of your release in terms of not speaking to the media, not talking out, did that strike you as a little odd at the time?
It did. I was disappointed. I understand that they don't want me to, cause any more mischief, obstruct other peace officers, that sort of thing. And I think terms that would prevent me from doing that, I think are reasonable, or prevent me from engaging in mischief, I think that's reasonable. But to be told that I can't, speak to the public, or I can't speak in the media, seemed beyond what would be required.
Yeah, because you've been charged with a crime, but you're innocent until proven guilty, of course, in this country. And in effect, your charter rights, your rights to freedom of speech, would you say they were threatened here? No?
I felt that my ability to speak was being, arrested rather than just my sitting in a bike lane. I think it was more than I think was required.
Yeah, now you've retained counsel, as you mentioned. What is your lawyer telling you about this? Are you actually indeed in risk of being arrested by talking to us now?
No, the lawyer felt that the term not to participate in Jarvis Street bike lane protests, does not include speaking to the media, and he suggested that I can speak to the media on the issue of the Jarvis Street bike lane, that I could encourage other people to protest, speak up, demonstrate, and that I should be allowed to do that.
Mm-hmm. And we should mention that this is not something that was written down. This was not on this Form 11. This was something that was said to you upon asking for further clarification by an actual police officer.
Yeah, I asked for clarification, and I have to add that I was handled very well. The police were very kind and compassionate. In fact, many of them were sympathetic to the issues and felt that the bike lanes being removed is a waste of money. And in fact, I think what's really at stake here is not so much me being arrested, but the entire community being arrested in terms of us not having the ability to speak publicly. Motorists aren't allowed to speak. Pedestrians, cyclists, all of us haven't been allowed to speak on this issue.
And does it make you wonder now that you've gone through this process, Doctor, whether or not other people such as yourself, have they maybe had their free speech rights somehow threatened, and the terms of their release included not speaking out on an issue that they feel passionate about?
I think this example would cause people some concern and some fear of being restricted in this way. And I would say that is the case. But again, I would stress that the bigger travesty is the fact that none of us have been able to speak. And in fact, sitting on the bike lane was my only opportunity to speak on this issue and be heard. And I think it's a travesty that's what's required, that motorists haven't been able to speak in a public manner, that all of this speaking is being engaged in an ad hoc manner like this, which I'm very grateful for, but I don't think is the proper democratic process.
Sure. Just finally here, having your right to freedom of speech somehow threatened, are you considering planning or launching a lawsuit against police yourself?
I haven't thought of that, but I'm sure that my lawyer and I will discuss that, as well as other individuals who are active in this campaign will certainly consider that. And I actually appreciate your concern, because as soon as we spoke, you raised this concern very highly, and I appreciate that.
Not a worry, Dr. Svoboda. I appreciate your time. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
There's Dr. Tomas Svoboda. Again, he was one of those Jarvis Street bike lane protesters. And, yeah, this is something that really caught my attention. We wanted to originally get him on about, I thought it was kind of curious that a doctor, somebody at St. Mike's, would take up this cause, because stereotypically, I think we assume people in the middle of the afternoon are those that are maybe unemployed, don't have a job, and they've got nothing better to do. But it kind of turned into something else when I heard that he was told by police that he wasn't allowed to speak out about this issue, that he wasn't allowed to talk about it as part of the condition of his release. I want to get your reaction to this after the break. 416-870-6400, star 640 on smartphone. I'm Jeff MacArthur, Talk Radio, AM 640.
Hey, sweetheart, I just bought our snowmobile.